Animated objects in Dungeons & Dragons are magical constructs that have been imbued with a semblance of arcane life. They can take on various forms, from inanimate objects such as a suit of armor or statues, to more complex shapes like weapons or furniture. Now that we know what animated objects can be, let's talk some features. We're going to break the features down from the following creatures presented to us by the Monster Manual: the Flying Sword, animated armor, and lastly, my favorite, the Raucous Mothering. All animated objects are resistant to poison and psychic and are immune to the following conditions: blinded, charmed, deafened, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, petrification, and poisoned. Now with all those conditioned immunities, most magic is not going to work, so you're definitely going to be prepared or want to be prepared for this encounter. They all share a blind set of 60 feet and are blind past this radius. They also share the following features: anti-magic susceptibility. The armor is incapacitated while in the area of anti-magic field. If targeted by dispelled magic, the animated object must succeed a Constitution saving throw against a caster's spell save DC or fall unconscious for 1 minute. We also have false appearance. While the animated object remains motionless, it is indistinguishable from a normal object. And then we have their own individual abilities. Let's start with the armor. Animated armor has a passive perception of 6. For combat, it has multi-attack, making 2 slam attacks. Imagine you're in the woods and you see this coming at you. Most responses will fall under
Run, bitch! Run!
We then have Flying Sword, with a +4 dexterity to its saving throw. The Flying Sword does not have the multi-attack feature, however. And lastly, we have my personal favorite, the Raucous Mothering. Out of all the objects, this one is the most amazing. Out of its features, we have the star of the show, which is damage transfer. While it is grappling a creature, the rug can take only half the damage dealt to it, and the creature grappled by the rug takes the other half. So if it grabs you, you should probably
Let it go, let it go.
We then have its combat ability, Smother. A melee weapon attack. Depending on the size of the rug, it can affect a medium or smaller creature. Upon hitting a creature, the creature is grappled. Until this grapple ends, the target is restrained, blinded, and at risk of suffocating, and the rug can't smother another target. In addition, at the start of each of the target's turns, the target takes 2d6 plus 3 bludgeoning damage. Both of its combined features shine intensely on the battlefield. If you ever wondered how it can deal bludgeoning damage, so yeah, don't get smothered. This is all for the features. Now let's talk settings. For a common scenario, we have the Haunted Mansion, an abandoned mansion on the outskirts of a small village. The villagers have long whispered of strange occurrences happening within the walls of the mansion, including objects moving on their own. The players soon discover that the mansion was once home to a powerful wizard who had imbued many of the objects in the house with powerful magic, turning them into animated objects. The players must navigate the treacherous and haunted halls of the mansion, dealing with a variety of dangerous animated objects along the way. I would highly encourage, if you're going to use traps within the mansion, animate them as well. Double whammy. For something a little different, we have the Clockwork Factory. A massive factory deep in the heart of a bustling metropolis is known for producing the finest clockwork automatons in the land. But lately, the machines have been malfunctioning. The players soon discovered that the factory's chief engineer has gone mad and imbued the machines with his own twisted magic, turning them into deadly animated objects. The players must navigate the dangerous factory, fighting their way through the rogue machines and ultimately facing off against the mad engineer himself. Lastly, we have the Lost Temple, a long-forgotten temple deep in the jungle. The temple is said to be home to powerful ancient artifacts, but is also guarded by the host of deadly traps and animated objects. The players must navigate the traps and fight their way through the temple's guardians to reach the artifact and claim their prize. Along the way, they'll encounter various animated objects, including statues, traps, and even giant animated statues of the temple's deity. For a twist, make the artifacts themselves animated objects. Now that we have a few scenarios down, let's talk strategy. Now, strategy is really based on the animated object using and the scenario you're playing with. A good one would be to make one of the animated objects themselves magical, making it more interesting and difficult for the PCs. Now, animated objects don't actually have an intelligence, so they'll most likely just attack the first target in front of them or whatever triggered them to activate. Think about it as programming. Whatever programming these machines or objects have is what they will follow. You could always use any objects for this. You could use a wardrobe, for example, or a bed if you want to. Anything fits the bill as long as you can imbue it with magic. For example, a wardrobe could have a slam attack and get your enemies prone. You could have a flying boar's trophy head. It could fly on and gore individuals with its attacks. A really great one is using a javelin of lightning and have it be able to use its own feature. So you could just have it shoot lightning bolts down an alleyway. And this way, once the characters do defeat it, they have a nice surprise and a nice reward. Or you could also just be a total dick and just make them destroy it and have to fix it. And that's all we have for animated objects. If you liked the video, then please like, follow, and subscribe. And post down in the comments below what is your favorite encounter with an animated object. I would love to know. Peace.